What's working in SEO for you, you think these days? The articles is quite easy as well. It's just like a click of a button, you can get the whole article.
Or you're wasting a lot of time and money.
I'm quite a fan of those kind of an articles, which are ChatGPT actually.
There's no such thing as white hat, right?
Hey, what's up everyone? I welcome you to the Gen Z Growth Lab podcast. And this is where we talk with the serious entrepreneurs who has used their proven tactics and strategies to take their Gen Z to the next level. Hey everyone, welcome to another enlightening episode of the Gen Z Growth Lab. And today we are thrilled to have a very special guest who has made significant waves in the SEO world. Joining us is none other than Liza Parsiale from Agency Fast Track, a true expert in the field and a powerhouse of agency knowledge, as I know. And so, yeah, in today's episode, we'll deep dive into the Lisa's incredible journey in SEO, exploring how she got started. We'll also discuss about the current SEO landscape and how to get new clients on board, because this is one of my interesting topic. I usually ask this topic to everyone I interview. So yeah, that's something we're going to talk about, like what's working and what's not working in the SEO world at the moment. So thank you for joining us today, Lisa. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for having me.
That's great. I know, like the moment I touch base with yourself, I was sure like there is plenty we can talk about. And so yeah, in the last call we had there was a friendly talk in which we talked about how to set up the agency, how to do it. So I was sure like we can have more information for the viewers in this one. So all right, your SEO journey. I mean, like just tell us like how did that things get started? How did you first get into the SEO world, and how was that journey?
Yeah, so I started like many people start as a web developer. So I was doing websites on the side while working full-time job
Okay.
and got tired of the day job and really wanted to get out of it, and eventually quit the day job, started the agency, hugely focusing on website design.
Yeah.
What I realized was once I got the website up, the next question everyone asked was, how do I get traffic? How do I get new customers? A lot of people were under the misconception that building the website was all they needed, when in fact it was so much more. So I actually took a course on SEO, because when I started in website design, SEO amounted to make the text white in the background on the page. That worked back then. Then things changed and SEO got hard.
Yep.
And so I had to educate myself. So I went and I bought a course. I took a course on it, started doing it. I think my biggest problem when I first started SEO was not learning SEO. It was having the confidence to ask for the money of what SEO was worth, because I didn't know SEO. So for me, getting into SEO was a necessity, because I was starting to build a bunch of websites and all of these customers were asking me. What I realized after the fact was SEO is your recurring revenue model. Website design is not a recurring revenue model.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, you can keep the hosting money and a few other things, but it was a very low recurring revenue model.
Yep.
And SEO actually added that recurring to the bottom line and now accounts for about 80% of our revenue.
That's pretty interesting, I would say. So I mean, like
Yeah.
you felt like back in those days, because the SEO was kind of new. Yes, there was a way to actually get in more traffic at that time. So do you remember any funny or any unexpected moments from your early days of SEO? Like something happened where you were trying to reach it and then you were not really sure, is it the right way to proceed further in SEO?
Yeah, I think for me, right from the beginning, I got into communities, I got into groups. So I really immersed myself in the SEO community and immediately started going to conferences and things like that. And I went to this one conference, SEO Rockstars, and I was asked to speak about what I was doing in SEO because I had achieved like really good results in the short period of time that I had been doing it. And at the time I was doing pure content. So I stood up on stage and I told everyone, I am ranking with 100% pure content, no links, nothing else. Look how great I am. And the founder of that conference, Dory Friend, called me out and said, okay, so you have absolutely no links. I'm like, well, yeah, I have links. I have social media links and I have links, from my own properties. And that's when I realized there's no such thing as a white hat, right? There's no such thing as, because she made me realize, no, you weren't ranking 100% purely on content. You just weren't buying crappy links.
Yep.
Right. So I always thought that was interesting, that how we perceive what we're doing sometimes. I was so hyper focused on building the content, thinking that is what was making it work, but it really was a combination of everything I was doing. It was the social media links, it was the citations, it was these other things, but I somehow convinced myself that those were, everyone was doing those. So how I was different was this, and I wasn't very different than anyone else.
Yeah, true.
So we all think we know what's working, but a lot of times we don't. And I would say for the first 8 years, I had no idea what was working. I just kept doing everything I was doing because it was working.
Yeah.
And later on, I started realizing you got to figure out what is working and what isn't working, or you're wasting a lot of time and money.
Yeah. And that actually takes me to the next question, which I'm really want to ask, like, what's working in SEO for you think these days? Because the AI has come through, a lot has been changed. The way we used to put the content and how we do it now, because the data mining is so much easy, So the generating the articles is quite easy as well. It's just like a click of a button, you can get the whole article. But again, I'm not quite a fan of those kind of an articles which a ChatGPT actually do it. But yeah, definitely the facts, the today's content is more factual as compared to what it was before. So what do you think is actually working in SEO right now?
And I'm gonna controversial. I guess I don't know if this is gonna land well with people, but the same thing that's been working, the basics, right? Staying away from the tricks and the gimmicks and the easy button softwares, and creating websites that have good quality content with great interlinking.
Yep.
That is highly on topic.
Yep.
With links that are coming in from externally that are highly on topic.
Yep.
With links going to your tier 3, 4, whatever, that are highly on topic. Yep. Just being hyper focused on understanding all the basics. Are your meta tags using all the right keywords? Is your meta description using all the right keywords? Does the page have, all the H1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, how many factors are on the page? How much diversity is on the page? This is all stuff that hasn't changed at all.
Very cool.
In all the years I've been doing SEO. What happens is we went chasing chickens. And then as we saw with Google's, leak,
yep,
they're going to lie to us and tell us this, you can't do this or you'll get penalized.
Sure.
Don't listen to somebody who's trying to sell more ads.
Yep.
Listen to what you know is working, because if it's working, it doesn't matter what Google says, right? So really the basics, the standards, the good quality SEO that we've come to know and learn. Now in local, let's talk about Google local.
Yep.
Same idea, right? If we want to rank in New York City, we better have pages on our website about New York City.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be on topic. We have to show Google who we are and what we are, and then gaining trust. I would say getting that, domain authority is really key. Yeah.
Yep.
My agency website has a domain authority most times in the 70s.
Oh,
70. Yeah. And
yep.
That's an agency. So I could rank for strawberries if I wanted to, because I have such authority.
Yep. Yep.
So working on that authority, working on the good content.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on this. Like, it's all a gimmick. I mean, like, nothing has been changed, to be honest, in the years. All these years, I mean, like Google has just tried to polish the algorithm only, and that's it. So if you stick to the basics, I think that's all we need to do. We just need to be a step ahead. We need to start thinking what the algorithm, what the end users really need, and just perform things accordingly. You're gonna laugh if I really tell you when all this like last week, when all this like AI leaks was going on everywhere on the web, all the Slack channels I'm a part of, I didn't go through it. I haven't checked the AI leaks myself, that document. I might have gone through a bullet points only, but if you try to tell me like, did you read the whole document? No, I haven't. Because it's just like there is no point, to be honest, to go and check that. Because if my existing system is giving me good results, why do I just overcomplicate the things? You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, so that's the thing. So is there anything which actually surprised you in this latest March update? Or because a lot of people, I know they've been screaming that, hey, it's a time to diversify the thing. We can't rely on SEO anymore. So paid media.
No, it to me, nothing has changed. So in the March update, all of my sites, both the ones I own and manage and my client sites that I manage, none of them went up a bunch or went down a bunch. They stayed pretty even keel. And
True.
that's because we don't buy into the tricks. We don't buy into the gimmicks. We don't do anything that we're going to have big ups and downs, right? We put in the work, we get the sites where they need to be. In fact, I literally just launched a new SEO course. And the first thing I said to everyone who joined that first wave was, if you're expecting easy buttons and rocket scientific new stuff, it's not in here. But I am going to show you exactly the order I do things and how you set the expectations with your clients or yourself on how long this is going to take. And if you do those things, SEO is not even stressful.
Exactly.
And that's the key, right? You know what's going to happen if I do these things.
Yep.
There's no magic pill or no magic easy button. And this is how I like to say it. It's just like regular life, right? If you take some new pill that nobody's tested and nobody knows about, you could end up in the class action lawsuit when your family member died from the pill they took. It's
Yeah.
the same with SEO. If
Yeah.
somebody has this brand new, hey, here's a magic pill, go ahead and take that.
Yeah.
You're the test dummy to find out whether it's going to work or whether in an algorithm change 6 months from now, you're going to tank.
Yep.
I don't want to live that way. I don't want to constantly stress about, do I wake up the next day and my sites have all tanked? It just doesn't happen in my world.
Yep. And the SEO testing, I guess, is really very important as well. Like, I was talking to Kyle Roof the other day, and in that podcast, he mentioned like we spend a lot of time doing the SEO testings. And I completely agree too, because if we won't be testing on our sites, then probably we are testing on the client sites, which is not really good. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
true.
never test on your client sites. I actually have a portfolio of almost 800 sites that I own.
Oh,
And so I can test on my own. And when you are testing, if you choose to be a tester, make sure you're doing quality tests, right? Don't do 10 things to a website and you're trying to figure out which one of them work. Do one thing and see what happens. Do the next thing and see what happens. Leave
exactly.
time in between. I
Yep.
personally don't love testing, so I will rely on those that do testing. So Kyle Roof, Lee Witcher, Ted Kabitis, Carolyn Holzman. Like in my world, these are names that I know they test. I know they look at algorithms. I know that they're going to give me the answers. And yes, I have to pay for those answers. You know,
Yes.
those folks have courses or masterminds you have to belong to.
Yes. It's
But
worth.
I don't have time to test. So I buy my way into the answers by buying their programs or
Right.
getting, their information. So
Exactly
for
right.
me, yeah,
Yeah.
there's no big roller coaster of ups and downs.
And that's one of the reasons a lot of people that do bring their ego in front of it, and they say like, oh, we are a seasoned SEO, why do we need to go and join another program? But the thing is, like, you are literally shortening up that curve, your learning curve, by joining someone's program. So I completely agree to it, and I know like you got a program, agency growth program as well, so we'll definitely talk about that too. But before we get into agency side, because there's a lot we talk about the SEO, I think the agency side definitely need a touch too. So I really want to know, like, how's a typical Lisa's day is, like, what it is all involved over the years, how what do you normally your daily routine is?
So for me, I have people in place now that manage a lot of the work. So I'm not
Yep.
managing the day-to-day work.
Yep.
So I would say my typical day is, I get up in the morning and the first thing I do is something that I need to do or I want to do and has nothing to do with work. So I take my first hour or two as I'm eating breakfast or I'm, just getting up and getting started for personal growth. So if I want to take a course, if I want to watch a video, if I want to read a book, I do that very first in my day because I think personal growth and personal satisfaction are super important. And some days that means I'm working on some new strategy and I'm playing with it. But for most of the time, it's just taking time to myself and watching videos or doing that kind of thing. And then when 9 o'clock for me happens, that's when my day starts. I'll go through email, maybe twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. I'll handle anything that needs to be handled. And then I'm really available to my team to guide them. That's my role. So if my project manager has questions, she knows she can come to me. If my lead SEO has questions, he knows he can come to me. I'm really the captain of the ship. I don't have to be standing at the wheel,
Yep.
driving all the time, but I have to be available when they, need barriers taken away or problems taken away or things like that. So I too get assigned tasks from my team. We work in a project management software, Asana,
Yep.
and I got to check my tasks. So my team will easy questions. They just submit to me and I just type my answers.
Mhm.
Whereas other times I get dinged, hey, I need to come over and talk. And we use a virtual office software, so people have access to me all the time. But I would say my days are pretty casual. I take long lunches and I end around 5:30. I work 4 to 5 days a week, and I think life's pretty great.
Good. Yeah.
But it didn't start that way.
Yeah.
Setting up your agency, and I know we're going to transition into agency talk. It's one of the hardest things I ever did. And I do remember days when I was working 12, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, pulling my hair out and wondering, why the heck did I start this business? Like, working the job was so much easier.
Yeah.
But if you can get to the point where I am now, then you see why.
Wow.
I'm making multiple 7 figures. I want for nothing in life, and I have time to enjoy the money I have. And
Exactly.
that is, you need the balance of both of those things,
I
right?
think like yeah, I think like every digital nomad in the early days, they have gone through that kind of like a roller coaster, especially setting up teams, setting up systems. So yeah, it's a typical like 12 to 16 hours, something everyone has gone through that, even myself. I mean, like I've gone through those 16 hours kind of a schedule myself. My wife used to complain me all the time, like what's going on? But yeah, slowly and slowly, she actually understood as well, like, oh, this is how the things actually get started, especially when you're new, because I'm a mechanical engineer myself. That was a big transition for me to move from this engineering thing all the way to the computers. So from the machines, like a grace monkey, to this computer and internet phase. So I understand, I can completely relate with you, like how your life has to be at that time when you actually used to work like 12 to 16 hours a day. But it's well paying off now, I guess. So yeah, that's what
Well,
we
the
need.
goal is not to go through that, but you're right. I did not in the beginning invest in myself in certain ways. Yeah, I would buy training and I would do certain things, But in the beginning, I felt like I had to do everything. You
Yes,
have to get out of that mentality as quickly as possible that you can't do anything,
exactly.
because you need to have your eye on growing your business and managing that business. That's your new job. That's what
Yep.
you need to do every day. And that was hard because I love SEO and I like learning and I like web design and all the things my company does, I liked doing. And so that's how I was able to transition into, now I also run a training organization, because that justifies me continuing to stay fresh on that stuff, because now I train other agencies.
Yep.
So that was my way of saying, yeah, I know I'm not supposed to do it in my business, but I still love doing this stuff. So I channeled it into, and we didn't talk about this, but my previous life before my agency, I was a computer programmer.
Okay.
Then I started teaching computer programming, and then I ran the training organization for a large Fortune 50 company. And so circling back around to becoming a training agency actually fits into my background. But yeah, you have to, I would say the number one thing that you have to focus on as an agency is the last thing people focus on, and that's building process
Mhm.
and building out structure.
Yes, true. And
And everyone struggles through that part. And if you could skip that struggle, you'll get to where I am probably 3 times as fast as I did.
yeah,
But you have to mentally make that shift to say, no, time is more important to me than money. I have to invest my money to buy somebody else's time,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So working with me, notice I don't say the words for me, working with me is an interesting thing, because all my people hear me say the same things, right? They listen to our training, they go to our training, and they hear me say the same things. They understand that they're the time I'm buying. And every hour they work, I'm making money off them.
Yes.
And in our world, a lot of my people that work for me are also entrepreneurs. They're trying to build their own businesses, and eventually they'll leave me, and that's okay.
Yep.
I love working with people that aspire to be where I am, because then they understand what it takes and they do a better job.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. On the person side, do you still code? Do you still design websites? Do you also
I can. I'm rusty. I would say that I read code a lot better than I write code these days,
Yeah.
because I spent 10 years training, not actually doing. And so when you don't have the responsibility of real projects. So now any programming and things I need, I actually have a team of programmers that do for me. But they love working with me, because I understand
Mhm.
how to specify, here's what I need, here's what I want it to do. Like, they love that, because I already know how to talk to them and what to say to them
Yep.
to get it done quicker and easier. But no, I don't usually code too much anymore. I can, but me and
I can
Chat
imagine.
GPT are friends when I need to code.
Oh, yeah. No, I can imagine that. All right. So there's a difference. I always feel like between a decent agency and a successful 7-figure agency. So what do you think are the key steps to building a successful 7-figure agency? What is really required? I mean, like the people who are just starting out, or maybe the people who are struggling to get new leads to their agency. What do you think? What is actually the missing piece of a pie?
So I'm going to say an unexpected answer of process. Process is the key. And that is even in your lead generation, your sales, the whole thing, every single thing you do in your agency, you should follow a process.
Yes.
And so for sales, for example, when I get a new customer come to me, I don't call them prospects, I don't call them leads.
Oh yeah.
They're people, right? To me, they're people. They're not marks. I hate prospect, lead. I hate those words. So for me, when I'm looking to get client acquisition, I have a process. What do I do on the first call? What do I do if they email me? What do I do if they text us? Every single thing we do has a process.
Yep.
For example, great tip that hopefully everyone takes away with them today. I never sell on the first phone call, ever. Because when you try to close a sale, when you know nothing about your customer, you don't really know about their market or their industry, you might think you do, but every business is different, then you literally leave money on the table. And so everything we sell has a process. We have the initial call, we call that our lead generation call. Then we have our sales call. And sometimes that sales call isn't even the closing call. We might have to get prepared to do a third call. But it's all structured in a way that we are trying to find out every little thing we can to, one, set the customer up for success, but two, set us up for success, right? Because it's a win-win. If they win, we win, right? They'll keep us on, they'll increase their budgets, we'll make more money, etc. So everything we do has an exact process to it. And lead gen, you have to be what you sell. And I think the number one mistake people make as an SEO agency is they look for magic button ways to attract customers. You're an SEO. What's the number one way you should attract customers? SEO.
Yep.
You have to be number one on the search engine.
Yep. And 90% of the time, that's what the
90% of the agencies out there, they're number 5 or 8. No, you have to be 1, 2, or 3.
Yep.
Because if you can't rank yourself, how do you feel you're going to be able to rank everyone else? And what does the customer think of that?
Yes, sure.
I have people, I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas, and 5 hours away is a city called Houston, you might have heard of. I rank in Houston, Texas. I rank in Austin, Texas, San Antonio, Texas. And when those folks call me, they'll say things like, oh, I was trying to find someone local. You're not here in Houston. And I respond immediately with, no, I'm not actually. But as an SEO company, wouldn't you want to really work with someone who can even beat your local people? Like,
yeah.
I beat people in Houston. Oh, you do. And then they start talking to me.
Yes.
Being number one in something you do. It's the same thing. If you're going to do website design, we're huge website designers. I build lots of websites. It's actually one of my lead gen strategies because people who build websites need SEO. But if my website looks like crap, you know, the whole cobbler's shoes doesn't work. You can't say, oh, my customers' websites look great, but mine doesn't look good because we never have time.
Yep.
You better take the time to make sure your website looks amazing and functions. It's fast. It's error-free. It has no mistakes, et cetera, et cetera. And I can't claim angel's wings there. I mean, we just went live with a new website last week and we didn't QA it quickly or better. And we got some stuff. We got some stuff going on.
I think that's something is definitely missing in most of the people. They just want, they get aggressive. They open up their website. They build out a kind of a site where they start running ads and all that, but they don't really care to actually go and do a proper SEO on those sites as well. So yeah, I'll definitely agree to that. I'll definitely touch that lead gen topic after this one. But before that, I really want to know, before it skipped my mind, like, was there any kind of like a big aha kind of a movement, I mean, like, or a turning point for your agency when you guys actually landed some kind of client? Because every agency owner, even for myself, I mean, like, we always have some kind of like a turning point in the entire thing. So you were having something like that too, maybe in those early days, maybe a few years back during the COVID, something like that.
I would, COVID is strange. So let's skip COVID talk, right? It was a weird time. Again, I have to go back to my standard answer that my business changed when I started running it like a CEO and not a worker, right? Because when I'm working in my company, I just have a more stressful job.
True.
When I'm the CEO, I don't have a job anymore.
You can
in the true sense.
Yep.
right? I'm thinking on a higher level.
Yep.
I'm thinking about how to take my existing client base and figure out how to increase what they earn or what I earn from my existing client base instead of churn and burn. Churn and burn is I get 2 clients, I lose 1. I get 2 clients, I lose 2. I get to, it's like that churn and burn. Well, I went through that. And that was my turning point. I would say that when I finally realized I'm going to keep churning and burning if I don't figure out my processes, if I don't get people and train them well, if I don't have a system in place to do the work, then I'm going to keep this churn and burn going. And nothing is more stressful in the
Yep.
SEO world than worried about when the customer's going to call and fire me.
Yep.
It would keep me up at night. And once I had those processes and systems in place, I literally was able to keep my customers, and not only keep them, but if they started at 2,500 a month, move them to 4,000 a month, move them to 5,000, move them to 6,000.
Yep.
Because my processes were get them results, get them results, get them results, and then upsell them. You want to expand, right? You want to, if you're talking to an HVAC company. But that starts from the sale, I realized.
Yes.
The entire process. I don't want to bring on the customer that wants 1 truck himself, fill his truck, and then he's done. I just want to work all day. I also want to work with business owners that understand that business is about growth and
Yep.
strategy. And they too, like, let's say an HVAC company hires me and they have 4 trucks. In my sales process, I'm asking them, how many trucks do you want to get to? Do you want to expand? What is your goal? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road?
Yep.
Because if I don't see that they have a vision for growth,
How you
I
gonna?
don't want to waste my time investing in them, because we all know that the first year of SEO is not very profitable for us.
True.
If we want to get results for them, we have to spend more time and money. But as they stay with us longer, we get a higher profit margin.
Yep.
So I want long-term. I don't want short-term clients. So right from the sales process, I learned, and I think that's my change, that my mind changed. I became a businesswoman and not just an SEO and a web developer. Like I transitioned into a true business owner that saw that we have to have this process. We have to have these things in place. Oh, and we can turn customers down that aren't a good fit for our growth strategy.
Yep. And I guess that's a good way to scale as well. Because a lot of people, they're actually stuck at this bottom line because they feel it like what they are doing, they can do the best because that's their business. But I think it is really very important to rely on your team, on your sales or bottom line team for the fulfillment as well, and train them hard, train them the right processes, give them the proper resources, what they need to, so that you can be yourself free from all that kind of operational stuff, and you can spend more time closing the clients. That's the most important question is going to come now. How do you attract new clients for your agency? How do you qualify those leads?
Yeah, so right from the beginning, our process is set up to attract good clients. And when they call us, when they, schedule, like I changed my website recently to where you don't fill out a form anymore. I'm done with the whole fill out a form, because that's passive, right? That's a passive action. I don't want passive customers. I want people that will pick up the phone and call me, or they'll click a button and schedule an appointment with me. Does that lessen the number of leads I get? Sure. Because a lot of people are passive. Oh, I just want to send this form and I don't want to talk to anyone yet. I want to fish for information. That's not a serious business owner that's looking for serious growth. So right from the start, right from our website, we're qualifying our customers. That first call to me sets the tone for me. It sets the tone for them. And I am not trying to sell them a dang thing. That first call, I am trying to figure out one thing and one thing only. What are they looking to do? What are they looking to have? What is the end result they want? And most people think, well, they want more money. Great. I don't stop there. I want to find out, why do you want more money? What will you do with this money you want? Because when I can figure out that piece of information, that's powerful. Meaning, oh yeah, I just want more money. Oh, okay, Mr. Customer, can you help me understand why you want, that money? I'm not trying to be nosy or anything, but to be a good partner, it's going to help me work really hard for you. Oh, well, my kids are about to go to college and it's super expensive. So now we know the real desire. They don't want more money. They want their kids to go to college, and they don't have the money for college. So that money is going to put their kids through college. That makes it such a personal reason that now I can use that, right? I wouldn't constantly drive home the point that I know that's why they need the money, but I'm going to interject that here or there to keep, yes, I heard you, I understand you, and I'm here to help, hey, listen, I get it. I'm going to make sure your kids have the best college education. Let me jump on this. People want the end result. And if they think you understand what their end result is, they want to invest in you.
Yeah.
So for me, you set that tone on that first call. I want to know everything about their business. I want to know their past, what marketing they've tried, how it went, what kind of money they were spending, how many leads they got, how many closes they did. Now, you can't always get all this information, but I'm certainly going to try. I once had someone tell me, well, you're not giving me enough leads, Lisa. Okay, well, let's put together a spreadsheet then. Well, I don't need a spreadsheet. I'm like, no, I think we need a spreadsheet. We put together the spreadsheet. Now, this was a lawyer, a law client. 1,000+ leads coming in a month for this client. They closed 7. 7.
That's bring down to their sales system.
I said, we don't have a lead problem.
Yep.
We have a conversion
Conversion.
problem. You are not converting the leads. So we dug in on, with this client and helped them understand that when you come in on Monday morning, having a team meeting first thing in the morning is a bad idea. Everyone should be calling back every person that left messages over the weekend. That's your 100% primary focus. We worked hard to get you these leads, and you're coming in and having team meetings.
Yep.
And you're not calling them back till 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and then you're shocked that they've already hired someone.
Yep.
Well, because the other company's on the ball, calling them back probably on Sunday or Saturday. By the time you got to them, they don't need you anymore.
Yep.
In business, you have to stay ahead of your competition. You have to be one step ahead of them. The same thing transfers to the client. So on that initial call, if we're talking to our clients in that manner and we're being consultants and they get the feel, man, Lisa knows what the heck she's doing. This lady can help me. The rest is easy.
Yep.
The rest is just educating them on their facts, as I like to call it. So our sales process brings them down a path of, let me show you where you are today. Let me show you what your competition looks like. Let me show you what we need to do to beat them. By the way, here's how much. If you spend this much, here's how long it'll take. If you spend this much, here's how long it'll take. How fast would you like to get these results? We don't even tell them what to spend. I don't set the price. They set their price. Now we have minimums. So they're, we're not going to do it for less than X, but at the end of the day, they feel in control of the entire process. I'm not selling them a dang thing. We are partnering together. I'm showing them a solution, and they're choosing to accept and work that solution.
Yep.
When you think like that and take yourself out of the sales role, you will do better.
Yep. That's more with the sales process. Just a very final question for the day I've got is like, how do you build an effective sales team? Because the sales process really going to work if you've got a good sales team. So that's, how do you think about it?
So it's the same idea, right? You have to have, and you said it best earlier, You have to have solid process, and you have to have a good training program to help them understand how this is my company. It's not their company. It's my company. And as such, this is the way I want you to sell. This is the things you're allowed to say. These are the things you're not. Like, we don't overpromise SEO results just to get the sale. Because when you pay your folks on commission, they don't care about the success. Well, even the way we structure commission means the longer the customer stays, most companies, the longer a customer stays, the less money they give the salesperson. And we're the opposite. Your job is not only to sell that customer, but to keep them.
Yep.
So if you don't bring on the right customer, you're not going to make that much money. We actually give you less in the beginning, and as they stay, you get more. Whereas most companies give them the big chunk in the beginning. Well, they don't care if the customer stays, because their big money comes from getting customers, not from keeping them. So everything from end to end, you have to think about, how can I set it up for success? We actually have a program. It's our big program. And we have every single process built out, every single thing, line item by line item, videos, talking about how to train. I built that for my company. I just happen to now sell that in a program, but that's how I succeeded. Every job, every task in our company has a line item that says, this is how we do it. This is how long it should take. Here are the resources needed, including training videos and step-by-step if needed. Everything is written down. And it didn't happen overnight. It took about 3 years to build out the SEO process end to end. It took, I think, a couple of years to build out the website design and hosting processes end to end. I mean, you're going to spend time or money. So you're going to spend time doing it yourself, spend money buying a program like mine. Either way, you're going to spend some time.
And you're talking about Agency Fast Track, your program.
Yeah, Agency Fast Track. We have programs, you can buy certain things, but I'm not here to sell that stuff.
No, that's all right.
Honestly, you can build your own process. Just be prepared. It's going to take years to perfect.
Oh, yes.
It's not going to happen overnight. So there's definitely an investment. You always are going to invest time or money in business. When you have absolutely no money, invest your time. When you start making money, switch.
Yep.
And when I say start making money, I'll be honest. This girl here has never had much money growing up. So when I finally started making money, I did all the stupid things you can imagine. I bought cars and boats, and I have a lake house. And I was just spending.
Oh, yes.
And now I've come to my senses and realized that if I want to keep working for the rest of my life, I could keep going down that path. Well, I stopped. And now we're investing. So you will run into these life changes, but know that you have to be prepared to change. Have fun. It's fine to spend some of your money, but had I reinvested my money sooner, I would have been better off. And I do have to say this because it's really important. In the beginning, I would say things like, I can't afford to hire a project manager. And then I went out and bought like a boat. What I'm telling myself, though, subconsciously is, I am not going to invest in myself.
Yes.
So instead, I throw the money away because I think I want this boat. Well, then I can't use the boat because I'm too busy working 16 hours a day because I didn't hire a project manager. Yep. Had I hired the project manager, they would have made me more money. I would have not had to work 16 hours a day, and I still could have got the boat. But you had to do the first one before the second one. And I did not have that discipline when I started, and I did not do it the right way. And if you don't, so what? Don't beat yourself up. But the minute you can make that change in your head, the more successful you will be and the more freedom you'll have in your business.
I guess it's everyone's the same. Like when I even started, I remember I used to think okay, I can do this. I can do it myself. I can easily achieve in this one as well. But now the thing is very different. It's not something we are not bootstrapped. We do have money to spend it, but it's more for my own freedom. So I just go and handpick some of the best resources, the people who are good into these things, spend the time with the programs. And when I go and take these courses or program, I just don't do it myself. because I know I don't have time for all this. I pass on to my team leads and I tell them, okay, just go train yourself in this. And if you want more info on this one, we can always go and pay that person as a paid consultation and take the time to polish yourself rather than thinking of a fear that, hey, what gonna happen if this guy gonna do it and gonna go away? If he has to go away, he has to go away. No matter, you can't stop them. But at the moment, I need to think about myself, about my time and my freedom, which is more important, rather than thinking that maybe this guy gonna get trained and might gonna leave my company, go somewhere else. But that's all right. Everyone is free to do that. So yeah, I
Well, and
completely.
you have to be smart with staff too. And I have people have been with me 10 and 12 years
Yep.
and they're highly trained and they could run off and probably do things themselves, but they have it so good with me, right?
Mm,
I definitely continue to pay well. I'm one of the top payers out there. I pay the most of probably anybody you'll ever meet. But
yeah,
more importantly, the culture we have in our company.
it's important.
I am free to work whenever I want. And
Yes.
so is every single person who works with me.
Oh, yes.
The key is you have to get your stuff done by the due date. How you do that is on you. So the people that don't last in my
Yep.
organization are folks that can't self-manage.
True, true, true,
Because I
true.
truly believe we're all grown adults. And if you need me to micromanage you, we are not a good fit for each other.
Yeah. No, I
But if
completely
you
agree.
want the freedom to go to your kids' plays or take 2 days in the middle of the week, well, are you going to work evenings to make up for it, the weekend? It's up to you how
Yes.
you manage your time, but this is the due date. Make sure it's done by that due date.
No, that's most importantly. That's true.
Yeah,
And that's, I guess that's something what these guys they love as well. I mean, like the team, that it's a
they love
flexible,
that.
it's a
Yeah.
remote role. They can work from their flexibility, and it's something like let's say they have to go somewhere, they can just go, and once they come back, they can work as per their schedule. So it's so much fun. I guess this particular digital marketing line has given to everyone, not just to the founders or to the agency owners, but to even to the staff members as well. So I just love it. So all right.
I'm with you. I love it too.
uh,
Um, I can't think of a better way
better
to
one.
earn a living and maintain your freedom and
Yes.
control in your life.
No,
But if your business right now, if you're literally listening to this and your business controls you
yeah,
and owns you and is kicking your ass, then you have to start learning. I have to be the CEO. I
yeah,
have to get in front of my company and make sure I start hiring people. Stop telling yourself you can't afford it, because I promise you, if you learn the right way, not only can you afford those people, but those people will make you more money than if you would have done it yourself.
yes. And
People don't cost you money. They don't. They save you time. And that time is way more valuable if you're working on bigger things that bring in even more money.
no, completely agree. And for that, we need agency fast track. It's important, like
Maybe.
really
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we definitely have programs. I'm pretty humble, so I don't sit around bragging about my stuff.
yeah,
But we have beginner programs, we have advanced programs. I always say the best way to know what you need, and I never talk people into anything they don't need, is to schedule a one-on-one session with me. I do those absolutely free. Why? Because I have time. I've
yeah,
set myself up to where I have the time to do that. But schedule that, because what I do is the same thing. I'll find out where your agency's at, what are you doing? In some cases, I tell people, you're not even ready for me yet. But if they are, I will tell you, this is a program you might, want to invest in, or maybe you need this program. Now, I will tell you this, if you just don't know what to do and you're with, go check out like my YouTube channel, right? Agency Fast Track on YouTube.
put it
There's
on.
50 some odd videos, free videos. You could watch some of, the stuff that I've trained on, and it's time well spent, because then you start getting like, you got to change this first,
Your mindset.
because you're not like, I'll tell you about a program and I'll tell you the cost and you're going to say, I can't afford that. If you haven't changed your mindset to think that is going to make me a bunch of money, then no program's going to work for you. Because if you buy the guy selling the program for $197, it's not going to help you at all.
Yep.
So you do need to find the right mentor, if that makes sense, the
Yep.
right guru, the right person to follow. I might not be it.
Yeah.
Right? Other people have great programs. I'm not the only fish in the sea, but very proud of Agency Fast Track. That is something we started during COVID. It was a way to help my friends in the community who were struggling. We weren't struggling at all during COVID. We had a fine year. And so I just knew a lot of people struggling. And so we started that endeavor and never looked back. And it's grown and grown and grown. But I treat that business the same way. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not the only one there. I have people who help me with it. I just lead that. I do the programs in conjunction. Some of my programs have my staff helping me teach it, because who better to train something than the people who actually do it? You don't want me training you in something I don't do.
No, that was a very, very good actually closing thoughts for the people who've been listening it, that it is really very important to join the right programs, the program which can really understand the need and a goal where the agency wants to take them, rather than just saving here and there and then extend that whole learning curve to years, or maybe months, something like that. So yeah, that is where the coaches, they come and play a very important role in the entire journey. So yeah, now I really appreciate all the efforts you have put it in, Lisa. And this is every single bit of information you gave it, there was something special into that. And I know that. I know like the only person, they can't just bribe about the things. It's comes with the experience. You are the one who has got a lot of experience. You have dealt with so many agencies. And I guess it's something which separates you from the entire crowd and stay ahead of the competition as well. So yeah, the process is
Yeah, I can't deny that working with all the agencies we work with in our programs, it helped me also feel better about myself, because when you're alone on your entrepreneurial island, you think you're the only person who made that mistake. You're the only person struggling. You're the only this or the only that. And then working with all these agencies, I've realized we all do it. Like we all did it. It's normal.
yes,
But obviously we don't want to keep doing that. If you can get to the Cliff Notes or the TLDR section quicker by buying your way into it, or no, right?
Yep.
Why do people go to college?
Same way.
The problem is colleges don't teach real marketing, business. Like, they teach them what SEO is, but you have no idea how to get clients and how to nurture the clients and upsell the clients. And there's just so much that you
Yep.
have to educate yourself on.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I
because
wish I had the programs I've built and what Agency Fast Track does when I started. And that's why I built it.
yeah, yeah.
It's
No,
it's really the culmination of my experience. And you will find, if you follow me long enough, I'm the most humble person you'll ever know. Like,
no,
I know that I am no different than anyone else, and probably most people could exceed and excel more than I have
yeah.
if given the right tools.
Yep.
So
No, that's a beauty about yourself. It's like go giving kind of an attitude, like, hey, just take all the knowledge, take all the skills, and just go and make dollars and have a comfortable life for yourself. And that's what
have
separates you.
freedom. I don't do it for the money.
Yeah, yeah, not true.
I literally wanted freedom. I was in the corporate world. I was a executive in the corporate world. So, my life didn't suck. I was making 140K. I was, I had 4 weeks of vacation and et cetera, 401K, American dream, right? I hated it.
Yeah,
I wanted to pull my hair out every day I went there. It was soul crushing,
yep,
literally.
yep,
I was not meant to be sitting in an office doing what I was doing. I'm creative. And that's what most of us are, SEOs and web devs. We're so creative. And we're not allowed to do that in most environments. And when you become the CEO, you might be afraid that you won't get that creativity, nothing is farther from the truth. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
We still have the ability to build, and that's what I think SEOs, digital marketers, web devs, we like to build stuff.
Yeah.
Right? We rarely want to do what we build either. And you'll recognize that, right? Oh, my business is just, it feels like a ball and chain. It's because you're still doing the work. Stop.
Yeah. Stop it.
Get a
True.
team to do the work, and then they're the ones who
Yeah.
and hire people. I don't want to keep going, but hire people that don't have the entrepreneurial mindset you have all the time. Like, you might want that a little bit, but you don't want them to be so entrepreneurial that they hate doing daily tasks.
Yes.
That's their role, is to do daily tasks. So you've got to meet them in the middle. We do hire almost all of our workers from overseas.
Yep.
I love working with India and the Philippines are my two favorite countries.
Yep.
Just love, talk about smart people.
Yeah.
Right. And keep that in mind. You're not the smartest. If you're the smartest in your organization, you're doing it wrong.
We're doing it wrong. We should
Yeah.
take smart ways then.
Yeah. Let your people be smarter than you. Check your ego at the door, and you could have everything you want in life.
Yep. No, that's great, Lisa. Thanks for all the golden nuggets, the one which you've given us. Thanks for sharing all the wisdom. It was really valuable. It was actually very valuable. I can tell you, because running a successful agency myself as well, I know like all these kind of struggles I've gone through for years, and but everyone's same. We just feel like we are having our own island, but everyone's same. Now, thanks for that. I really appreciate the time you have given me, and yeah. Look forward to have you again, because there is a lot of talk. We still need to do it. So I need to plan some sessions in the future again for it. I'll definitely recommend your agency Fast Track to everyone. And for the people who've been starting out, definitely I'll go and check it out as well, your YouTube channel too. So yeah, I'll put it in the video description for everyone to go and follow the resources.
Perfect. Well, I'd be happy to come back. Thank you for having me. I love talking agency. It's
Yeah,
my favorite thing.
I can imagine that. All right. Thanks, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you.